Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And Starlight was just out here doing some yoga, and Starlight loves doing yoga, so I don't know what kind of exercise all of you guys do, or girls, and it is so good to, no matter what, is to get outside, do some exercise. Or I love being outside in nature, and that's where I am. So, sometimes people will go to the gym, go swimming, try to, go out and get some exercise. And, like, if you can't do those, at least to, there's also exercise you can do in chairs. So, really be mindful. There's so many things available for everyone at every age and every condition. There's arm exercise, leg exercise, bending exercise. So just make sure you take really good care of your body, because you're going to need it later on. You really are. I've seen many people throughout my life that have suffered when they got older, when they got younger, right? And because they were not taking good care of themselves, whether the food that they were eating or getting out and getting exercise. So anyway, I love you all, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget the notification bell, that way you do not miss any videos. Plus, don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight, and you could leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could check out my playlist, and you could follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, here I have this shirt here, Happy Vibes Only. Yay, happy vibes only. So what kind of vibes do you put out in the world? Is it happy vibes only? Or, are you working on yourself, and when you go out in public, you complain? Or you have negative stuff to say? Or you low people's vibrations down by, not lifting them up, but finding some fault with them? And why would you want to do that anyway, right? Because we have enough shit to take care of inside of us, that we don't need to look out in it in other people, because we have enough stuff to work on inside of us. And Starlight is always paying attention and learning, so I can make videos. So I'm always looking, okay, what am I seeing? How can I actually use what I'm seeing out here? I love those people, not that I'm judging those people, is that those people that I see things, when they're doing things out in public, I can make a video on those people, and so we can either do those things, practice those things that are good and helpful for other people, and like loving animals, getting out and exercise, getting out and doing sports, eating healthy. Or we can learn from people by when they're not eating healthy, not exercising, or talking negative out in community. So like today, I did meet somebody, and where that person, they're struggling. They have a lot going on in their headspace, and they're struggling. And all I heard is all the negatives, that, there's a lot of beautiful things going on in the world. And I've been learning that on this journey. That's why God put me on this journey, is because I needed to leave New York. I needed to be by myself, And you got to be careful. There are people out there that will come to you and pour all their stuff on you, in a 10-minute, like, bam, Where you got to really watch out is, do they even believe in what they're even talking about? And what do they believe? You have to know what you believe, no matter what anybody else believes. You got to know and what you believe. And as you mature and get older, you are wiser. Things that you might have believed when you were younger, you might not believe those when you get mature and wiser. So you got to really be careful is to respect other people's beliefs, that even though you don't have to go down their trail, because that is something, they might be where you were 3 years ago, so you got to be mindful of respecting other people's beliefs and not forcing your beliefs on other people. We all have a freedom to believe what we want, a free will. God gave us a free will. So don't let anybody, this just happened to me the other day at McDonald's, where somebody was trying to force their beliefs on me. And I just woke up, just got at McDonald's, and bam, I did not see that coming, And I realized as I've been there at this McDonald's, that person has been annoying a lot of people in McDonald's, where I've seen people like, hey, get out of here, because they see, what is going on in that person. So really be mindful of people out there that, they might talk stuff, is that you gotta let that stuff go, and, realize that, not every person out there is good to keep company with. And you can't force your beliefs. I am a teacher, an influencer, and you have the choice. Like in many videos that I make, I let you know I can't force you to do nothing. You got to decide on your own what you decide to do, and depending on where you are on your journey in life, is where are you right now, because we're all in different areas in our life as far as growth goes. Not all of us are on the light here is changing on Starlight here, but whoops, not all of us are on the same growth area in our life. Sorry about that. I'm like, the sun. I love the sun. It's just right now, this is the time of the night. So, what kind of vibe are you putting out in the world? And Starlight, everywhere Starlight goes, I have so many people, men or women, is because Starlight is always putting a love vibe out in the world. I'm letting people, I make people feel good everywhere I go. I inspire people. I raise people up. And this is what this is about. This is what we're supposed to be about, But first you want to make sure you love yourself first. Learn how to, find out who you are. Learn how to love yourself. That self-love is so vitally important. And a lot of people, they don't believe in themselves. They could have came from a really horrible childhood, which our childhood, and we all come from different backgrounds. Some people, they might have had it pretty easy. I've met people. I have met people in my past where, they just kind of, just went through life smooth. Everything was smooth. They didn't hit any bumps. I don't know how that was possible, and so, but not everybody goes through life like that. So be mindful that everybody has different backgrounds, but we can learn from our past. We don't want to stay there, so we can learn from our past and take the lessons that you learned, from your childhood and relationships, jobs, and that is the stuff that you can use today. And that way, those lessons that you learned is going to help you to guide you through what you're going through right now. So what kind of vibes are you putting? Like Starlight's like, hey, only happy vibes out here, There's a lot of negative out there, but there's a lot of beautiful people out there. I met a lot of beautiful people from New York, all the way to Miami, Florida, back up to Kansas, Colorado, to California, so there are beautiful people. There's people that they love animals, and they will protect the animals at all costs, and that Starlight does not eat animals anymore, so because I love the animals, that you don't have to eat the animals. There's a lot of people that do have a diet where they don't they can survive without eating animals. So just be mindful of that, is that you don't, if you love them, like if I had a dog, I made a joke with my dog a long time ago when my son and I things were kind of getting kind of uncomfortable with finances and stuff, because I lost a job, and I just was making jokes, but those jokes were, there are some people that would eat their pet dog, or their cat, if they got really hungry. But Starlight would not eat her cat or her dog, and therefore I'm not going to eat any of the other animals, So, and some people in this world, they will eat anything out there. So, just imagine if you were one of those animals, and that is not the only reason why they're here, is to be eaten. So, besides that is, what are you doing out in the world to spread love out in the world? Are you complaining about your life out in the world? Starlight was there. I was always questioning, always had questions going on, trying to find somebody. Hey, anybody could help Starlight out with these questions? No one. Nobody, until later on, much later on, when I met my mentor, like on YouTube, bam, finally, not even the churches could help me out with some of the stuff that I was struggling with. My therapist didn't help me out with those answers, So there are people out there that love helping people out. And so you have to be selective on who you get help with. And so through your whole life, what kind of person have you been? Are you a person that's always helping people, that you want to help people? Starlight is always helping people. That's the kind of vibe that we need. You want to see change in the world? What are you doing in the world right now? What are you doing? Because that's what my YouTube channel is. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And yesterday I was at a beautiful park, and there was a couple. It was horrible. There was a man, his energy, his vibes were so bad, and all I heard for like 15 minutes or even longer of like really horrible language, and I heard a lot of this stuff going on, and I felt bad, and I found out later on that it was one of the guys that work at the park. It was their boss. He was the one flipping out in the park, and just complaining, and so, you got to be mindful of what are you doing out in the world to inspire people. Well, later on, I had to use the bathroom at that park, and there was two men that were on a tractor, and they stopped and they said hi. I draw people in all the time, and I'm like, hey, hello, and I was giving them help because I seen what the one man was going through. He was the one that had to hear all this bitching and complaining from his boss. So I taught him something that I just learned from my mentor is, it's kind of funny, is I am releasing any energy that is no longer serving me in my energy field, and I'm sending it back to the rightful owner. So I do that 3 times in a row, when I'm around those kind of people with like that, what that guy was going through. I felt so bad, and they were like, wow, they were blown away by me telling him that, and he's like, oh yeah, you ought to tell my boss that. So, and I ended up talking to those guys for a little bit, and then I went to my vehicle, and they were right next where I was, where my car was, and God put it on my heart to tell these guys, and I do this all over at different parks, is I let people know that do the landscaping at a park. Hey, thank you for the work that you do in this park. I appreciate you out here doing this. That guy just was like going through a lot of crap with his boss, but he needed to hear that you're doing a great job. He might not be, he loves what he's doing, but with his boss, that's a different story. So that kind of energy, you got to really be mindful, even at a job. Like, are you at the right job? If that's the kind of energy where you're always around toxic energy, you might want to think about getting another job. You might not be in the right place. And when I say you're not, when you might not be, I'm saying really you're really not at the right place, because you need to be happy. And hearing somebody bitch and complain and yell and throw those vibes, and I mean, it was nonstop. This, man, I felt so bad for him, because he had to hear it. And I had a job like that in Albany, when I was thinking that's what God wanted me to do, and it was so toxic. I'm like, you know what? I am better off living in my car and not working for I am, people thought I was crazy. Why are you quitting that job? You should stay there. I had people that wanted me to stay. No, they weren't even working. You go take that job and tell me how you feel at the end of the night. Gossiping and drama and tearing people apart, backstabbing. I ain't got time for that. That's not, God doesn't want me to be mixed up with that kind of shit. Not, absolutely not. And did I swear? Yeah, this is about being yourself and not caring what people think. Is that you got to, like, we need to inspire people out in the world. How about the garbage man? I did this just the other day. There was a truck that went to the gas station, and I didn't say, I just said hello. Just because a man or a woman does garbage, it doesn't mean that they're garbage. Treat all people with respect. Let them know, hey, where would the world be if we didn't have people that we call garbage, the garbage men? How would the world look if we didn't have people that collected your garbage on your street, right? They come on your street and they, are they less? Do you treat them less than human because they come and they pick? You ought to be grateful that they took that job to pick up your garbage, your stinky garbage at your house, and they took it off the street, and you don't have to deal with it. Because you could have took care of it yourself by putting it in your car and driving to a place and dropping it off. Now, some of you might do that. Like, I had a cleaning business, and I worked for cleaning companies. When I worked for cleaning companies, it was horrible. People treated me like shit. They treated me less than human because I cleaned toilet bowls. Okay, like I told the guys that were, doing a great job keeping the parks beautiful, and I said, thank you. I always go to parks all the time doing yoga, and it feels great. They're picking up the garbage that somebody threw around. I said thank you to 3 guys yesterday at a park because they're keeping it clean. So like when I had my own when I worked for cleaning companies, people would give me a vibe. I could feel their vibe. They don't have to say nothing, or, treat you a certain way because of your job. Well, how would the world look, right, if Starlight didn't work at those companies and the toilets never got cleaned and the garbage that people throw all over on the bathroom floor? How would the world look if there was no cleaners? Pretty nasty. Wouldn't it freaking stink? How about the germs? So, there's people that, get a lot of attention, like the president and, politicians, singers, dancers, Hollywood stars. All of us have an important part in this world. People that take care of animals, veterans, people. Now, veterans, they were deceived, and out there, but they've gone through hell, and they were lied to, so, my heart goes out to those people. But, don't think that because you have a job that you think that you're all this and that up here because you work at an office and you got like a title, that you're better than anyone else. Because no, because imagine when you go to the bathroom, the cleaner doesn't show up, or the person that picks up the garbage on your street, they don't show up. They just leave it there, and you keep on putting more out and nobody comes around. How about the guys that work on the roads, or the women that works on the roads? you know, where would we be? How would we get around? You know, but a lot of those people, they get treated like shit. You know, they get treated less than. But we wouldn't be able to get around if it wasn't for the construction workers or women, you know, men or women. You know, so be grateful, you know, for all the people that help out with the water. You know, sometimes I do know though, when it comes in the cities, they know certain tricks and they've done this before. There's some negative stuff on that note, that they can control certain things, and they know, hey, if this doesn't, you know, get taken care of, like, it could really mess up the whole. And that has happened out in New York. There was stories, and it did. They wanted the land, and they were trying to get people to sell their houses, but the people loved where they lived, so they forced them out by creating a flood. If it got really hit with rain, it would flood the whole place out. They knew exactly what they were doing because they wanted that land, and all these homes got ruined by the water. You know, so sometimes people are out there doing things that are not good, you know. So but we need to put a positive vibe out in the world. So, like the mailman, you know, how are you with, do you say hi to your mailman? Do you thank him for the mail that, you know, because you get your mail. Starlight doesn't have a mailbox, but, you know, so we need to be grateful for the people that are, you know, that the way society looks at them less than is that we need to, you know, how about the people that work on plumbing in your house or the electric work? You know, imagine that they didn't come and clear that shit out of your toilet when things got really, you know, whoops, what went in there in that toilet bowl besides shit? Oh, the flushable wipes that screwed everything up? Yeah, those. And I'm serious. If you have flushable wipes, don't put them in your toilets. I was a cleaner, and believe me, a lot of toilets got clogged up because it says flushable wipes. So just a tip on there. So anyway, put a good vibe out in the world. Let the world know you care, you know. Say hello to your mailman. Say thank you. You know, they go out in the pouring rain, snow, blizzards, you know. They drive in some horrible weather, but hey, that is what they signed up for. So if you're a mailman or if you work at different places, don't complain about your job. That is you know, I've known many people, they get a job, and hey, that is what they tell you. This is a part of the job. You know, if you're going to walk to door doing a mailman job or a mail lady job, you're going to walk in the snow. If you're in that area, the wind, the rain, and all that. So really, you know, even the garbage men, same stuff. You know, even cleaners, they got to drag stuff in the snow, you know, bring it into the place, clean the place up, drag all this stuff in the weather. If it rains, they still got to go in and out, you know, from their car in. The construction workers, you know, some people get hit by cars. They got to go in through all kinds of weather and temperatures and all that stuff. So be grateful for those people out there. You know, nobody's better than anybody. You know, last time I knew, every time I go in the bathroom, which in this place here, somebody did take a shit and it's not going down the toilet bowl. But you know what? That shit does stink. And all of our shit stinks. None of us have arrived, you know, none of us are perfect. We weren't here to be perfect. So be grateful for all the beautiful people out in the world. I love you so much. This is Starlight. You could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget the notification bell. And don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight by bing, 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 leaving a message down below. And man, I'll tell you what, lately it's helicopters. There's a helicopter going by again. So I'm gonna wait. You could share. I didn't wait long enough. You could share my videos with your family, your friends, the mailman, the men and women. Well, it's mainly men that do the garbage. How about the construction workers? Yes, you could share videos with them. And Also, don't forget my playlist, and you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. Let's put some love out in the world. You want change? It ain't gonna happen by waiting for everybody else to do all the work. If we all jumped in and did our part, this whole world would change. If we worked on ourselves and sent love out in the world, there wouldn't be a war out there. We're the ones that can make that difference by being that change that we want to see in the world. And it doesn't mean that we're going to be perfect, because I know I am not perfect, but I am doing better than I think I can. I love you all. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace.